Okay. So yesterday, I made a video responding to another video by a guy called Kirky Talks. I think it's Kirky Talks anyway. About struggles with money. And I wanted to explain in the video things I did to help me get out of my hole that I was in 4 years ago. I'm just going to paint this while I talk. Yesterday it was driving home in the van and the quality was quite bad. Give you something to watch while I waffle. Yeah, so what can the average person do with an average income, an average wage? What can we do to avoid getting into money troubles? Because no one really teaches us how to use money. Yeah, no one really teaches us how to use money. And the first thing I did, I started looking into what investing was. Any amount of money. I went travelling a few years ago, 10 years ago, and for 10 years I had about £14,000 in a savings account and zero interest. And for 14 years, that number never changed. Stayed at 14,000. It actually went down because I dipped into it. But when I started learning about money, I kind of realised I didn't understand how money is eaten away by inflation over years. Didn't understand it because no one ever taught me about it. You want to put any money you have, any tiny amount, in a regular saver that's going to get you some percent interest return. Standard right now is about 4%. 4% return. So if you've got £100 in your bank, 4% of 100 is 4. So at the end of the year, your account has grown by £4. £4 isn't a lot because £100 isn't a lot. But if over the year you invest more and more spare change, then you're going to get a return on any money that goes in there. So for anyone at all struggling, either to save or whatever it is, maybe your bills outweigh your income, just have a look at your bank account. Do you get an interest? Do you get any interest on the money in your account? If not, all you need to do is either contact your bank or go on your banking app, Halifax, and just upgrade your current account to a savings account, an easy access savings account. That's all you need to do. And then, even if you've got tiny bits of money in that account, you're going to get interest on it over time. I know Monzo, I think Monzo at the minute is 4.3% interest, and I think it's a daily interest. It's either daily or monthly interest return. So you don't need to wait till the end of the year to see your money growing. It's actually daily, or maybe you get it monthly, I can't remember. But look into it. That's one way of helping yourself to do better things with your money. The second thing, which was a really big one for me, get a cashback account. I didn't really know what this was. cashback, any money you spend. Mine was Chase. I had a Chase cashback account. And any money I spend, bills, buying tools, buying materials. I'm a plasterer and a decorator by trade. Any tools I bought, I get 1% cash back on whatever the cost of the tools were. And that was monthly. Now, this is a maximum of £15 a month cash back. So that's if I spend £1,500 on bills, direct debits, just general spending. Most people, you'll probably find, you spend about £1,000 a month on all your bills, all your spends, whatever it is, eating out, drinks, takeaways. You might find that you spend around about that per month. If you set up an account, for example, again with Chase, where your bills are going out of a cashback account, all you need to do is switch all your bills over. Switch your spending, your everyday bank card, switch it to an account that gives you cash back. And every single month, you'll get 1% of whatever you spend. So I was getting about £10 every single month. £10 a month for a year is £120 a year. That's £120 a year you're going to get for free just because you're spending money, which you spend anyway. You're going to spend that money regardless of if it's in a cashback account. So you might as well get the cashback for it. That £120, you don't need to save it. Sorry, you don't need to spend that money. Keep that money in your account. And on the £120, you're going to get 4% interest, or whatever your interest rate is. One sec, let me move you over somewhere. One sec. Not very good at this. There. Yeah. So yeah, two things. Check you have interest on your savings account. Like a regular saver, and easy access means you can access it anytime. I think Monzo is the one for that. Are you gaining interest on your savings if you have any savings? Second one, change all your direct debits to go out of an account that gives you cash back straight away. You're gaining an extra, well everyone's money's different, but let's say it's £100 a year. That's £100 a year you're missing out on just because you're using your money in the wrong way, because no one ever taught you how to use it. So have a look for it. Chase, I think it's an online bank. Set up your direct debits to go out of it and earn cash back on it. The third thing, or actually the second thing, the cashback was the third thing. The second thing is look for current account switches. If you're not trying to save up for a mortgage, switching a current account from, say, Halifax to First Direct. I did this 2 years ago. I switched my Halifax current account over to a First Direct account, and First Direct gave me a switching bonus of £175. I got that in 2 weeks. I got £175 in 2 weeks just for switching my current account from Halifax to First Direct. Look into the terms and conditions of that. I think I had to have 2 direct debits going out of my account in order to get the bonus. But yeah, if your current account, if you're not benefiting in any way from having a current account, from your bills going out, switch your bank. Get free money just for using a bank. So yeah, search that current account bank transfer or current account switch. that Martin Lewis on the Money Saving Expert, he's really good at finding all the tiny deals just to save money. Let's see. Yeah. Or so that was that one. So what have I covered? Current account switch, cashback, interest. For anyone, I don't know if you can see, I've not corked any of these, by the way. None of these have been corked. It's MDF. All these panels are MDF. This is clear varnish. This is MDF. I've not corked it yet because I want to get a coat of paint on the bare edge of the MDF because it'll just suck in. So I want to get a coat on this, and then I'm going to cork it. Quick tip for anyone doing DIY, MDF paneling on staircases, which I'll just quickly show you. This is a staircase. Got this to do all the way down. Quite a nice job. Same with this. Quite a nice job. Where was I? Yeah, just try, if you're really struggling with money, you're going to have to learn on your own how to use money, because no one ever taught me. I had to learn on my own, and YouTube, whatever. But it is a new language you're going to have to pick up, because just spending the money you get, it doesn't work. You need to spend it from the right places to get benefits from it, to be able to benefit from the money you spend. Same for anyone saving for a mortgage. Don't just save up for your mortgage in your bank account. Don't have 5, 10, 15,000 pounds sitting in your bank account earning either no interest or a tiny 2% interest rate. Don't have that money in your bank account. It's a waste, and your money, I think I've been saving up for a mortgage for the past 4 years now. I've got about £20,000. But the first thing I looked into is, where do I keep that money? One place is, it's called a lifetime ISA. An ISA account is a tax-free account where you can put your money, and any gains you make on them any gains you make on them savings is tax-free. Because believe it or not, if you have enough money in your savings, the interest you earn on your own savings, if you make enough interest per year, that's taxable, which is criminal. So anyone saving for a mortgage, look into a lifetime ISA account. I'd recommend Moneybox. Anyone YouTube or Google Moneybox lifetime ISA. It's exactly the same as the government Help to Buy scheme from a few years ago. They've discontinued the Help to Buy schemes now. You can't get them. So the Moneybox is the next best thing. Or it's actually better because you can, with the Help to Buy scheme, I think you could invest £3,600 per year. Whereas the Moneybox, you can invest £4,000 a year. You get an interest rate, but also on top of that, the government, whatever you put into your Moneybox account, the government will add 25% bonus onto that amount. You can put a maximum of £4,000 a year. £4,000 a year in a Moneybox account. Now, when you put £4,000, so every April to April, you put £4,000 a year in, and when you hit the max of £4,000 invested in your Moneybox ISA, the government will add 25%, which is £1,000. So every single year, whatever money you put in that account, the government will give you an extra 25%. So I've been maxing £4,000 a year savings, and the government give me £1,000 a year. It's an instant 25% growth on your account. There's nothing worse than saving up for a mortgage inside your bank account. If you save 10 grand and your mortgage is 10% of 100,000, 10,000, and you pay for your deposit, your mortgage deposit of £10,000, you've just missed out on £2,500, because that £10,000 over 2 years could have gone into a Moneybox account, and you could have gained 25% of 10,000, so £2,500 for free off the government to contribute towards your mortgage deposit. But again, people don't know about this. They don't know what an ISA is. They don't know what a stocks and shares account is. I want to go into that in a bit more detail at another time. A stocks and shares account, because people think the stock market or stocks or anything to do with finances, money, because it's such a confusing topic, people just think it's gambling. Oh, you buy into the stock market, it's gambling, you can lose your money. Well, yes and no. If you buy a stock and that company goes bankrupt, chances are you're going to lose your money. But if you buy into, in the stock market, Tesla, for example, chances are Tesla's probably not going to go bankrupt anytime soon. I'll go into that a bit. If people want it, not that anyone's going to watch the videos, but this is more for me. I'll go into what the stock market is and a stocks and shares account later. But my savings over the past 4 years, I've managed to invest £8,000 into my stocks and shares ISA. On that £8,000, the government have given me, completely for free, just for holding my money in an ISA, in a lifetime ISA, instead of in my bank account, the government have given me £2,000. So I've invested 8, the government have given me 2, and the interest I've gained is 4% of whatever that is. and my total account in my lifetime ISA is £10,380. Whereas if that money would have been in my bank account, saving for a mortgage, 4 years later, where I am now, that £8,000 would have been worth £8,000. But because I put it in the lifetime ISA and I took advantage of government schemes, bonuses, interest, dividends, again, that's another video, I've gained £2,000. That's just in my lifetime ISA. The rest of my money goes into the stock market. The stock market is a place where you can buy shares of companies. So Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, I don't know, whatever you want, Ford, BP, Shell. You can buy shares of those stocks. And once you buy shares, you no longer have, let's say you buy £1,000 worth of Amazon stock. You no longer have £1,000 because you bought a product. Now over time, that product that you bought will appreciate with inflation. Inflation drives the prices of everything up. Think about a coffee. Buying a coffee 5 years ago, you could have maybe bought a coffee for £2 5 years ago. Now, a coffee, especially if you go to somewhere like, I don't know, Starbucks or Costa, even most sandwich shops now, a coffee is £3.60, £3.20. Well, where it is in Manchester, where I am, it is. And that's because of inflation. Prices go up with inflation. So if you're holding all your money in cash, cash doesn't appreciate. Because if you put £10,000 under your bed 10 years ago, when you come to check that £10,000, it's going to be £10,000 because £10,000 cash cannot appreciate. It can't grow because it's sat under your bed. But if you put that £10,000 into the stock market, your money's going to at least keep up with inflation. The average returns in the stock market is about 7 to 10% per year. So that £10,000 in 10 years would have gained 7% interest every year for 10 years. That's 70% interest. Your money is worth 70% more in 10 years' time than it is. So 70% of 10,000 is 7,000. Your £10,000 in 10 years would be £17,000 in the stock market compared to £10,000. I'm not explaining it very well, especially for people who don't understand it. But yeah, try to do some research. Find ways of gaining extra money with methods that don't involve working longer or just get a better job, which is what people say. Well, just get a better job. Not everyone can do that. Some people are quite stuck. So if you're stuck, find ways to make money that don't involve working more. And there's really easy ways. Making money these days is easier than it's ever been. And that's not a dig at anyone struggling. I struggled, and I'm not struggling now, but I definitely have. Like I say, 4 years ago, I became homeless. So, if you don't know how to make more money, the money that you do get, try and teach yourself how to use that better. Just to go back over it. Don't have your bills going out of a standard bank account. Have your bills going out of an account that gains cashback. Cashback is a reward. That's how much the bank pays you for using them as your bank. Your bank should benefit you. If you're getting nothing from your bank account, then switch banks. Or at least open an account that does benefit you. You want interest on your money. You want cash back for the money you spend. For the money you save, you want that to be non-taxable. So find better ways of keeping and spending your money. And here's the last one. The last one I'm going to go into. Oh, one sec. The last one I'll go into and then I'll stop ranting. There. How about there? Yeah. No. There. No. There. Yeah, whatever. The last thing. Again, on my Chase account, and I think Monzo do the same, you'll have a roundup option on the bank account. So if you spend 70p on a chocolate bar and you use your bank card to pay for the chocolate bar with the 70p, if you've got the roundup option, if you've got roundups enabled on your bank account, your bank account will round the 70p up to the next pound. And what it will do with the extra 30p, it'll put it in a savings pot for you without you knowing. So you've already gone to the shop and you've spent money to buy a chocolate bar. You've spent 70p. You're not going to miss the extra 30p. It feels like it's cost you to buy the chocolate bar because the 30p has gone to you, but it's gone into a separate account that it's like a secret account. And every single year I check my account, and with the roundups enabled, I check my account and just for spending money that I'm going to spend anyway, £10 here, £50 there, it always rounds it up to the next pound. So everything you spend, a tiny bit of that gets added to your savings without you knowing. And then at the end of the year or at the end of 6 months, you check that little section of your banking app. I do it every year and I find I've got £80 in that account. I'm like, where's this £80 come from? The £80 is just the roundups, 30p here, 30p there. Over the space of the year, it compounds and it adds up. And then that's an extra £80 that you've just got out of absolutely nowhere. And instead of withdrawing that £80 and spending it because it's free cash, don't do that. Get the £80, transfer it into your stocks and shares ISA. Transfer it into your savings account that's going to build interest. Transfer it into your lifetime ISA. Transfer it somewhere where you're going to benefit from that money in the long term. With my cashback account, I get about £10 a month for free. With my roundups, so that's about £120 a year, completely for free, just for using a bank. Doesn't cost me anything. It's a reward the bank give me, Chase, for using them. On top of that, I get £80 a year as roundups for spending money. 30p here, 30p there, 20p here, 70p there. That's £70, £80 a year. Interest on my money. My interest over the past 2 years on my 8,000 has been £300. So that's £300. Already that's £500 free money I've got just for putting my money in the right places or spending my money from the right places. You don't need to earn more money to get more money. You can learn to spend from the correct places. But no one tells you about this. No one knows about this. And then another video. No, I'll say it now because I'm not doing anything else. I put my money, the majority of my money, in the stock market, in a stocks and shares ISA. I buy into companies that are going to appreciate over X amount of time. Sorry, the door blew open. Yeah, I invest the majority of my money into the stock market instead of keeping it in a bank account, because a bank account will erode your money. A bank account doesn't keep up with inflation. The stock market does most of the time. Now, your money can go down in the short term in the stock market, so that's why you only put the money you can afford to save that you don't need access to right away into the stock market. Because, for example, what's an easy example? I'm 36. When I was a kid, Pokemon cards came out. Charizard was the most popular card. I had a Charizard I had a Charizard Pokemon card. At that time, it wasn't worth anything, but people wanted it because it was rare. If I kept that exact same Charizard Pokemon card, you can look online today, some of them worth thousands, some of them worth 10 grand, 200 grand for a tiny Pokemon card, a Charizard card. If 15 years ago, 20 years ago, from when I was a kid, it's an extreme example, but it's an example of how buying an asset can be better than keeping cash. I could have paid £10 for a Charizard card 20 years ago, put it under my bed or in a drawer, and I've spent £10. 20 years later, I look at that Charizard card and it's worth £200,000 because it's rare, because people value it. On the other side, I could have put that £10 under my bed, looked at it 20 years later, that £10 is still £10. It's actually less because of inflation. £10 10 years ago can't get you what £10 today gets you. You get less today. So if you keep cash, your money depreciates, your wealth depreciates. But if you buy assets, your wealth increases because the price and the value of assets increase. That's an example of a stock market. You buy stocks that increase over time. So I buy stocks that appreciate by quite a lot and give me a good return on my money, and also stocks that pay me dividends. A dividend is basically The way I think about it, a dividend is an amount of money a company gives you as a thank you for investing with them. So if I'm a company, you give your money to me, not give it, but you invest in my company, I would give you a set percent. So if you invest £100, my dividend yield is £4. I'd give you £4 every month just for you holding your money with me, as a thank you for holding your money, as a thank you for investing in my stock. So every single month I get between £50 and £60 in dividends from the stocks that I invest in. Again, that money's still mine, but I don't hold that in cash. I hold it in stocks. At any point, I can sell that stock and take my money back out. Hopefully, you'd sell the stock when the price is up, so you sell it for a profit. Exactly the same as the Pokemon card. 20 years later, you could sell the Charizard for a profit. Hopefully for more than the £10 you paid for it. It's the same with investing in companies. Over the years, they appreciate. And when you do come to sell them, hopefully you sell them at a time where they're worth more. And if you hold your money in the stock market for long enough, your money is always worth more than the day you put it in. So I've made, over 4 years, I've invested £18,000 into the stock market. Now the returns I've got on that money, my account right now is worth 24,000. So I invested 18, and if I sold everything right now, the money I'd pull out would be 24,000. So I've gained £6,000 in 4 years just for holding my money in an account that appreciates instead of in my bank. That includes the dividends. Dividends are confusing. A lot of people can't get their head around what a dividend is. I'm going to cut the video here because I'm kind of getting blinded by the sun, and also it's a bit difficult to record on the stairs. Right, I'm going to call it there. It's already dry. Yeah. Let me know if this format, one second, let me turn you back. Let me know if this format of video, me just waffling, me just talking, is appealing in any way, or if you'd prefer a more edited video. of me giving examples of what I'm talking about, because it's hard to explain without putting the examples on the screen. I might do that when I get back, but probably not. Yeah, I'm going to call it there. Thanks for watching.